Yo, what's going on? And welcome back to some more Bazaar. And today we are going to be playing a new character. I got Dooley as my first character, and I really like him, but I think that his builds are not that diverse at the moment. Now, we are in the first season, and he does have an expansion, but as you can see, I'm not quite there yet, right? We're at 14. Um, we need to get to 15. So it's might be till tomorrow before I can actually get the expansion, and then we'll try out his expansion. One of the reasons I got Dooley first was because he had an expansion to get that I was gonna get soon. Um, but anyways, let's check our challenges real quick. Today we're gonna do a warm-up run, a normal run with Dooley first. 14 days, buy 5 items that cost 10 or more, and gain some shield. If you're curious about some of my stats now, because I played a little bit, we still have the most Vanessa games played, but I have the most wins on Dooley. Like, I've obviously just been getting, like, better at the game in general. We're still not doing that great, right? Vanessa has a 9% win rate. Dooley's at, like, 20%, which is okay, but not very good, I would assume. And then here's how many games played I got with each character. There's a bunch of other stuff. I still haven't. I don't even know what this is. I assume it's a perfect win. Like you don't lose a single time to get that. I've never gotten that. Who knows when I'll actually get that. As far as Dooley goes, he's interesting because, well, maybe we'll talk about it more as we get into the run, but he kind of only has like one good thing going for him without the expansion. While we don't have the Dualtron, we really just have Power Drill. So let's get into normal play here. So pretty much what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a Power Drill build. But you don't really always start off with stuff that is conducive to Power Drill. And in fact, Power Drill's not even that good just right off the bat. So the weird thing about Dooley to me has been that all of the cores suck. Funnily enough, Ignition Core is the only one that I think is even like kind of good. But it seems like Dooley ends up getting rid of the core by the end of most of his runs. Ignition Core is the only one that maybe will stay. Although Companion Core is okay if you're doing companion stuff. Which, since we don't have all the friends unlocked that come with the expansion, Companion Core is a little bit worse for us. But anyways, yeah, we're going to go Ignition Core. Because that's what I have seem to be the best one so far. And then I feel like Enchanted Item is just not good, so I haven't been doing it at all. The fact that you get 6 gold makes it a little bit better, because if you get just something terrible, at least you can visit a shop and have a chance. Gold tier skill is also kind of tough, because like the cool thing about Dooley is he starts with an item, right? He starts with the core. But if you don't get something that works with your core, you also might not get an item that works with it at all. So I kind of don't like going gold tier skill. I feel like the safest thing is just to go with income and gold, which is also what I was doing with Vanessa. Ooh. I've changed a lot of the things that I like doing. Because just as I've learned more about the game, and I've watched a few other people play the game a little bit as well, it's made me value things differently. Because we're day one with only the core, I kind of think we have to go with the shop because I went with income and gold. But I do like going to Jungle Ruins early and getting the 3 regen from it. That one's pretty valuable as well. But yeah, I think we gotta go with Quixel. I always buy crypto whenever I see it, just because odds are you'll be able to sell it for more in a few days or a few hours or maybe a day or so. Chem Snail is pretty good early.
Okay, now tell me
It's a low cooldown,
something
and it
huge.
does 2 different debuffs. So I kind of like going Chem Snail early, and Chem Snail can kind of help you transition into power drill stuff. Light Bulb I don't really like, so I don't even think I'm gonna get it at all. The only good thing about Light Bulb is it's only a 4-second cooldown, which can help you charge your core. Am I gonna reroll? Because obviously, if we're rerolling, the stuff is probably not going on our board. I think I am gonna reroll. Not great, but we could use some extra items once we level up. So I might just buy Wallace and Copper Ed, even though they're not particularly good. Wallace is okay. Copper Ed is just terrible. I don't understand why Copper Ed is so bad. Like, why is it a 7-second cooldown? The snail's a 5-second cooldown, does 3 times as much poison, and is slows. Copper Ed, its shield is negligible, it only does 1 poison, and it has a 7-second cooldown. Like, come on. I'm just gonna get the only reason I would get Copper Ed is because it does poison, so then we have 2 poison items. I'm just gonna grab Wallace and move on with my life.
Blah blah blah. Bye.
Also, I love Dooley because I love the names of the things. Chem Snail, not particularly funny, but like Wallace, we'll talk about him as we get there. Some of the names I just love. Could go Pyro because it's got stuff that could work with the ignition core. Like if we got the lighter. I've been going Banana Bowl a lot now because Banana Bowl has a skill that's actually pretty good. I remember in the beta, I was like, I never want to go Banana Bowl because like all of his stuff seems so bad, but he has a gold tier skill that's actually kind of good. But it requires you to have the ability to heal yourself. And usually you just end up getting like the banana. If you and he has duct tape, which is also okay. I think we go Pyro and hope we get lighter. I get, and if we get something else, it's not that bad, right? Because it all works with the core. So a lot of these day 1 fights, it's very difficult to actually lose them. If we just had the core, it might be losable. Actually, Pyro sucks because he just has lighter. Yeah, Pyro can't ever kill anyone. Poison is really strong against these early game fights just because they usually don't have a way to heal and get rid of it. Okay, so we get Fiery. Again, I probably would have preferred... Well, maybe I wouldn't have preferred lighter because I wouldn't have been able to slot it in anyways. So now we're in a situation where we probably don't have enough money to even bother visiting JJ. Crypto is currently 3 costs. That's kind of like the threshold. How I think about crypto is because crypto's base costs 1. I think because one time I had this weird situation where it got above the cost that it says because it says set this item's value to a number between 0 and 5. So I thought that even though it says set, I would assume that it couldn't go above 5 unless there was like an outside circumstance. But I swear one time when there was no outside circumstance, I saw it go above that number. So I always like to do half of the value plus it's the item's base value. So the item's base value is 1, right? And we bought it for 2. And half of the value is 2.5 because the max value is 5. So I like to do 2.5 plus 1, which in this case, I would maybe accept selling it for 3 or 4 or 5. And if possible, 6. But again, I'm not exactly sure if that's possible. So I think we're going to wait for a 4 or 5 sale there. Otherwise, I guess I could sell it and go to JJ, but I think it's probably more... I've also started looking up items more often because like you don't get to know what your upgrade is gonna do, right? So it can be nice sometimes to just be like, what exactly am I getting if I upgrade the core? I really think they should put that into the game. Like, because you could right click the item and see a bunch of information on it. I think that it should show what will happen to this item if it gets upgraded, right? And the website that you could get your information from also like tells you what every single enchantment does. That might be a little bit much clutter on this screen, but that would also be cool. Like maybe if there was a tab on this screen when you pull up the item that was like what do the enchantments do, and then it like gets rid of all this information and just tells you what the enchantments do. That I think would be valuable because currently in the game not enough information is available in my opinion. So anyways, if we upgrade this, we get more burn and we add more burn to the item to the right, which is okay. I mean, our other options are we could upgrade crypto, funnily enough, and just get more gold out of it. I don't really think that's worth it. We're probably going to end up keeping the core long term. So that's the only reason I would go for the core upgrade here. Chem Snail would double its poison and double its slow. I think I'm going to go Chem Snail. Because poison is a lot more valuable in the early days for winning fights. Like if someone... Most people don't have the ability to get rid of a lot of poison. So you kind of like make it inevitable that you're gonna win. Unless they just have a crazy build. Which does happen from time to time. Especially here because we got no defense. Here... This is the thing that I kind of... Maybe I should go small friend. There's one small friend that I really like, which is First Aiden. He ends up being in almost all of my builds. I think he's incredibly overpowered. He's just like a little dude that heals you a little bit, and he hastes a random item, which just works really well with almost all of Dooley's builds. But I do like to go Lost Crate and just kind of grab a random skill. You don't get to choose is the problem with Lost Crate. But a lot of times it just ends up being fine. Because like we could get, if we got a fire or a poison skill, that would be great. I'm going to go with this. So I feel, that's actually fine. Both of these are non-weapons now have a 5% crit chance. So here we are, day one. Day one fight. Crypto's still at low cost. I don't know. Vanessa could just like murder us, but... yeah, Vanessa's gonna beat us. She went with enchanted item. And she also got frontal shielding, so... We might be able to outpoison her, because this is gonna run out of ammo. The problem is we don't have any regen. We're relying on Chem Snail here to win the fight. It's gonna be close, because the Sandstorm is gonna kill us faster, but she's actually dying really fast to the poison right now. Okay, she died right before she got the heal in. So yeah, I told you, poison, man. Poison on day one is too powerful. It's not actually too powerful, because everyone has access to poison, but... So... I've started valuing Mandala a little bit more. Really... crypto's still not up. It is really like checking like stock markets or checking your crypto. I don't actually own any crypto, but... Like, it just, like, you have to check every single hour, see if it's up, and then you sell it. But yeah, Mandala, how I've been using Mandala is if there's an item that I want, then I try and get like the highest tier that's the same size as that item and just hope that I randomly roll into it. It doesn't really pay off very often, but the whole point of these games is to take as many chances as possible to get the thing that you want. And the more chances you give yourself, the more likely you are to actually accomplish that, right? So what do I want? Right now, I don't really know, so I don't really want to go with Mandala. I could reroll Chem Snail just because we already upgraded it, but I think the odds that we end up with something worse than Chem Snail is too high. So I think I might just go weapons, and we'll look for something that's useful. I do like taking Uzi, because Uzi, you just put it on the left side of the core, and it just charges the core, and it can be useful in a lot of different runs. It honestly doesn't do very much damage, but you're not really using it for the damage, you're just using it for the 2-second cooldown. And then we'll go ahead reroll. I don't really like Chris Army Knife or Hamlet. Pulse Rifle, huh? Pulse Rifle is actually pretty good early, because it's very easy to get the multicast +3. All you have to do is have only one adjacent friend. Or, like, have only one friend and then make sure it's adjacent to the pulse rifle. And all of a sudden, your pulse rifle goes off 3 times, which is really good for charging the core, right? Because that's 3 seconds to the core whenever it goes off. And if you have, like, a weapon skill, like add 20 damage, then all of a sudden the pulse rifle becomes an early game threat. So I am going to pick up the pulse rifle. It means that when we level up, which we're gonna do right when we hit this leave encounter button, now all of a sudden I could just put pulse rifle in, and we have like a decent build to probably beat most day 2 fights. Okay, here, so we got left-handed weapon is an option, which I think I'm gonna take. Because it makes it very likely that we're gonna win our fights for today. So I don't really have enough money, although I should check crypto. Crypto's still at the same. I don't really have enough money to go for Kina. Like I said, I do like jungle for getting that 3 regen. But I think it's really hard to pass up an extra XP. Especially because at the end of day 2, if you do the difficult fight and you get an extra XP from somewhere, you can end up at level 3 already, which means you get an extra 2 item slots, and like half of the people are still going to be level 2, so you just have an advantage over them. So I think I like to always get XP when I see it, unless there's something really good. And I think our build is definitely going to be strong enough to take on Rogue Scrapper. Now, what do I want from Rogue Scrapper? I really just want Rust. Rust just works so well with Power Drill that it would be ideal to get that. So here you can see just the charging that comes from this pulse rifle, and the fact that it's doing 90 damage every time it goes off. Something that I still struggle with is knowing, like, what monsters you can actually beat. Hey, we got Rust. That's great news. So we already got a lot of skills, right? But yeah, knowing what fights you can actually beat. I think on the early game ones, I'm getting pretty good at it. And a lot of times you could just, like, force yourself to be more powerful in the early game fights, like Rogue Scrapper and the next fight as well, which I would prefer to be the eccentric and get the eccentric skill, but that doesn't always happen. But some of the later fights, especially when you random into like the diamond challenges, those I often don't have any good idea if I can beat them or not. Especially like the Lich. I don't think I've ever beaten the Lich. He's just like so strong the day you run into him. And most builds are not particularly good at him, although I think Vanessa, like all weapons, is really good against him. So here, Finn can kind of give us the same benefit as, like, a better benefit than Jungle. It'll give us some max HP and 5 regen, and I really didn't have, like, a whole lot I could get from anywhere else. I might just go Tiny Furry Monster here again. And now we already, like, no matter what we do, we get to level 3, right? Because I grabbed that extra XP earlier. But I think I'm just going to go Tiny Furry Monster and grab another XP. So we get level 3, we can get 4 gold, or we can get a bronze item. Kind of my threshold on the gold thing is if it gives me 6 or more, then I take the gold. Otherwise, I've stopped taking the loot item. Because first of all, I don't know if they fixed it, but the loot items, some of them are bugged and just doesn't give you anything except for the 2 gold. Which, if that happens, that's just terrible. But a lot of times, since the loot item is just something random and you have no control over it, sometimes the loot item doesn't even help you. So I've been taking just an item to give me more chances to get what I actually want. In this case, I didn't get what I want, but I can sell that for 2 gold. So we got a Vanessa who won day 1. Crypto's still at 3. Blast doors, like... So the problem is, blast doors would be pretty good if this is all weapons Vanessa, right? But if it's poison Vanessa, then blast doors is completely useless to us. I think I'm gonna go... Oh, I can't. Right. I can't put in Wallace. If I put in Wallace, then my pulse rifle has 1 less shot. Although the Uzi gets the 30 damage. Now, the Uzi's problem, especially at bronze, is that it only has 6 ammo. The upgrades for the Uzi don't actually make it any better, except for how much ammo it has. This is a tough one. It's like, no matter what I do... The pulse rifle does more damage per second if we leave it like that. Plus the Uzi can run out of ammo, which it very likely will. I think I just leave it at this and don't put in Wallace. I'm just gonna hope that this works. I think there's a good chance we lose this day. What do they got? Oh, they got... yeah, I should have gone with blast doors. It would have been really good against them. That's unlucky. How are we gonna do here? Their grenade is now out of ammo. The cannon is now out of ammo. Yeah, I just kind of destroyed them. Okay. So inevitably we were going to beat them because our board was going to outscale their board. But they essentially have like the same 2 items we have, right? I think it's funny if you have left-handed and they have it as well, it shows you the upgrade for it, like you're about to get it or something like that. But yeah, they had a lot more focused build, it just, I guess, wasn't good enough. So here, let's check crypto. Crypto's at 4, so I'm just gonna sell it. And we'll go to middle. Okay, so here we can get some funny names out of the way. We got Miss Isles. We got Race Carl. Claw Arm's not funny, but is either of these worth it? Race Carl doesn't really work for us. We would have needed the companion core for Race Carl to work, I think, especially early game. Miss Isles could work. But we're kind of in an awkward spot where we don't have enough room unless I take out the Uzi. It does fire twice, so it's technically like the same amount of shooting as the Uzi, because if we put missiles to the left of the core, she'll charge the core fast enough to keep reloading her. So missiles will actually be like twice as much damage as the Uzi, but it's obviously 2 slots, and she takes a lot of our money to actually get her. Is it worth it? It's one of those situations where like it is worth it because I don't know what this reroll is gonna give. Like I'm going to reroll and I have no idea what that reroll will give. If the reroll gives me nothing, I'm gonna regret not taking missiles. So I'm gonna take missiles then.
Free ride home, but people thought it was weird.
It's a tough situation. Getting schematics early can be kind of useful. Just give us free items that we can either sell or maybe we'll get something that's useful. Rocket launcher is nice though, especially with the ignition core early on in the game. The thing about rocket launcher is it doesn't scale very well into the game because it kind of just doesn't do a lot of burn and doesn't do a lot of damage at any point. But the ignition core can buff how much burn it has, and it's going off 3 times, applying 3 different burns. So like every single point of burn that the core gives to it is actually 3 points of burn. So the question, we're not keeping blast doors anyways, so I think I'm gonna get schematics and rocket launcher, just sell blast doors. Oh, I made a mistake. I wasn't thinking about everything, but that's okay because we got rocket launcher. So the mistake that I made is obviously missiles can't go into our board because missiles is a friend. So then here's our board at the moment. And we'll Micro Dave, it doesn't really work for us right now because the only small item we have is like Uzi. I don't think we're going to be putting in Wallace. Micro Dave, I think will get better once I get the actual expansion for Dooley. Okay, so here, obviously we can't go to the shop. We got no money unless I want to sell this stuff. Here, I could either do this and it's like going to jungle to get 3 regen, or I could go here and just grab a random skill. I gotta grab the 3 regen. Oh, wait, for some reason I forgot I had the 5 regen already. I might still have gone with the 3 regen. It's a little bit worse because I already had 5 regen. So, Scout Trooper is hard. Eccentric, I feel like, is way easier. And Eccentric has good stuff. Scout Trooper, I sometimes lose to. I'm pretty confident we'll beat Scout Trooper with this board, though. But we didn't need to fight Scout Trooper because we picked up so much XP along the way. We could have fought someone else and still made it to level 4 before the end of the day, but... So here you can see the core goes off before the rocket launcher goes off, so we get extra burn. It's going to be close, but I think we got it. It was really close. We were about to die to that bolus. I mean, I guess it's not that close. The bolus had maybe like 1.5 seconds left, but... Yeah, the other bad thing about Scout Trooper is, like, really, I don't want a whole lot of this stuff. I guess the Silver Uzi could be nice, because his Silver Uzi... Oh, no, I guess it has an extra ammo from that. The gunpowder could be okay to just give more ammo to my Uzi, because that's the only reason I would want the Silver Uzi anyways. Other than that, like, Eagle Talisman, I could maybe hold on to it until we get a power drill, but everything else is just not really worth anything. Could also check our stuff real quick. Pulse rifle's doing work. Okay, that's honestly fine. I guess it's the same as getting the gunpowder, because now the Uzi will have one more ammo. And if we get a battery, then it'll help that as well. So, this decision is kind of tough. Okay, we leveled up. We got cool LEDs. So I could upgrade the Uzi. I don't think it's worth upgrading the pulse rifle. I don't think it's worth upgrading rocket launcher. It could be worth upgrading the core. Or I could get a skill. What is my board going to be right now? I'm definitely putting in Uzi. And because I want the pulse rifle to actually still do something, I'm probably going to put in cool LEDs instead of Wallace. Because the pulse rifle right now is going to be better than missiles. So do I upgrade the core? Because the reason I would upgrade the core is because then it's going to give 2 burn to rocket launcher every single time. And then rocket launcher is actually going to do like a substantial amount of burn. How much burn does rocket launcher get if you upgrade it? Like, I remember looking this up and thinking that it wasn't worth it. You do get 1 burn every single time, and the damage you get is so bad. So yeah, I think upgrades for rocket launcher are just not worth it. And I think that's another thing that I've kind of changed with my gameplay now. I think I was overvaluing upgrades and undervaluing skills. Because I was almost always upgrading to try and have my whole board upgraded, but there's a lot of items that don't actually care that much about upgrades. Like pulse rifle, we're just probably never going to upgrade because it's going to leave our board before we care. Uzi could maybe use an upgrade, but it's going to do its job mostly even at bronze. Rocket launcher's going to do its job at bronze. The core is gonna do its job at bronze, but it could be better at higher level. I think in this case I am gonna upgrade the core. So we got 3 more burn on the core, and now it gives 1 extra burn every single time it gets used. Don't really have enough money to go to Barcoon. So if we go here, we get 3 bronze chocolate bars for free. If I go here, I get 5 bronze chocolate bars for free. The only issue is we don't have enough room. So what's our board gonna be? Be like Uzi and cool LEDs, I guess. We just want like as much stuff to the left of the core as possible, so the core goes off more often and gives... First of all, it does more burn, but it also gives more burn to the rocket launcher. Because now we're looking at a situation where the core might go off twice before rocket launcher goes off once. Because all of these things will go off. Well, we could count it even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 times in the first 6 seconds, we'll have 8 things go off, which will charge this 8 seconds. And that's also 6 seconds, so it's getting 14 seconds of charge, so it's going to go off twice before rocket launcher goes off once. It's even going to be approaching going off more than that. Oh, I don't need to make space because I just put more stuff on my board. I solved my own problem. Yeah, I don't have the money to spend on better chocolate bars, so I guess we're just going with this. Okay, and Mountain Pass, I just, like, always go to. Now. I'm just gonna sell this stuff. Because we're probably gonna want it for the next fight anyways. Although I do like going to Tinker to try and look for First Aiden, because First Aiden would probably be better than Cool LEDs. But I think Tinker is going to get a lot more valuable for me when I get the Dually expansion. Now, the tough thing about Mountain Pass is picking between Escort and Guide the Convoy. Guide is guaranteed 2 gold, 1 XP. Escort, you could get an item. What you're looking for is a battle, right? Because the battle gives you gold, gives you XP, and it gives you an item, like a skill or an item from them. So that's a lot of value. Day 2, if I go to Mountain Pass, I always just pick this. Day 3 is where I feel like you could start doing Escort if you think you're strong enough to take on the monsters. Because some of the monsters can be like level 5, level 6 already. So if you think you have a decent build, then you can go Escort. But you really don't want to hit an item. I think I'm going to risk it. Okay, we get 1 XP, so we miss out on 2 gold, but that's okay. We got Pig, a pig who has not lost, but he's only level 3, so we have more items than he does. It might be close. I don't know. I don't really know that much about Pig. I just know whenever I see Pig late game, he just murders me. What does he have? I think we'll be okay. It's gonna be a little bit scary. Until our rocket launcher goes off. Yeah, the rocket launcher doing 27 burn is pretty good. Oh, I guess it only did 21 because it got 2 more after that. So yeah, at the moment we're just trying to get through the early game. I'm gonna go fill up my water while we move to the next day. Okay, somehow my headphones got all spun up. So yeah, this is kind of the thing that I think is cool about Dooley, even though his end game builds are not that diverse. I think like early game, you can build a lot of like interesting things. And yeah, I end up relying on some of the similar things like rocket launcher, chem snail, pulse rifle. Those things are definitely nice to get you through the early days. What are we looking at here? We got 11 gold, middle. So what you need to know is if you want a power drill is a bronze item at the lowest, so you can find it as early as the beginning of the game, and it's a medium item. So that means like middle could sell us a power drill. And if I wanted to use Mandala to try and get a power drill, I could throw missiles in there or something. And it would keep the tier, right? So then I'd have a silver power drill. And we're kind of at a point where we could maybe put in power drill, right? Because Snail does 2 different debuffs. Cool LEDs does 1. Core does 1, but the core is going off a lot. And Rocket Launcher does 3. So we're kind of at the point where power drill might be better than pulse rifle already. Yeah, I think we just go here.
What can I get you?
It's kind of hard to pass up upgrading rocket launcher though. Like I said that I'm not shooting to upgrade it, so I'm not gonna burn like a upgrade an item on it. But if they're just gonna give it to me for 4 gold, it's probably worth it. If only for the fact that it gets 1 more burn.
Enjoy that.
And then I still want to reroll. We did see Monitor Lizard right there, but since we don't have Companion Core, he's kind of harder to make work. Because he needs you to have hasting items. Okay, so I think going to Tinker is a bad idea because we don't have a lot of money. And I'd really just be looking for First Aiden. Work at the docks could be good to get some money, or just grab the XP. I think I'm just going to go with the XP. Because sometimes you could just beat people by just being higher level than them. Because you get max HP. Now that we have a full board, we no longer get the advantage of having more board slots than people. But every time you level up, you get more max HP. And you get like a reward, right? Like sometimes you get a skill, or depending on which level up it is, you get an item or something like that. I think we could beat Hellbilly.
You best keep moving, fancy britches.
Hellbilly's kind of strong. It sucks that that's left-handed. It'd be better probably if it was right-handed. Honestly, scrap doesn't do anything for us. But you can see we got a lot of burn on him, right? So the rocket launcher is just applying so much.
Folks like you move in, prices start going up.
Yeah, he didn't even really get to do anything. 66 burn and 48 burn. That's a pretty good burn for day 4. For not even doing like a burn build, we just have 2 burn items. We get medkit. So the other thing to take into account, like here, level 5, we get a free skill, right? So that's just great. Medkit is, we got a gold medkit, right? Which is a small, we got another cool LEDs. Again, I wish I could combine these 2 cool LEDs. But yeah, we got a gold medkit, which you could go to Mandala, because I have no items that benefit from me selling this gold medkit. I could go to Mandala and re-roll this into another gold small item, which could be something that we actually want, like maybe an Uzi or a metronome or something instead. Now, if we get First Aiden, then maybe I'd want to give First Aiden the heal, even though First Aiden isn't really for the healing. It's more that he gives a haste and he has a really low cooldown, but... Alright, what do we got? This one's good, right? The first 3 times you use your rightmost item each fight, charge 1 slow item. Okay, so this... When Rocket Launcher goes off once, it's going to proc this all 3 times. So it's going to charge Chem Snail or Cool LEDs. When you slow your weapons, gain 2 damage. I don't really want to reroll because we're kind of in a bad money state. Righty Tighty is probably going to be useful throughout the rest of the game. Because right now it's taking 7 seconds for Righty Tighty to go off once. Or to go off all 3 times, I guess. But if we get further in the game and we get Fiber Optic, then we'll probably have a different item that procs this faster. So we'll take Righty Tighty. Don't really want a burn item, so I guess we'll look in talks.
I'm so fast, I'm living in your future. No.
There's First Aid and Power Drill. Wow, okay. Defense Matrix is also an option. Because Defense Matrix has the passive where when you use an adjacent item, you get shield for it. So it's kind of like duct tape, only a big duct tape. And the shield is small, but if you could stack up the shield with like things that buff the shield, it's more about how many times you can get the item next to it to go off. And then Defense Matrix gives 2 hastes, because it's going to haste things on both sides. So we're definitely going to buy Power Drill, and we're going to buy First Aid. I think First Aiden is better than Cool LEDs. So now the only thing that can be charged by Righty Tighty is Chem Snail. And like I said earlier, we're probably at the point where we can replace Pulse Rifle with Power Drill. Now, do I give the medkit health to First Aiden, or do I keep this as a gold item? think I give it to First Aid. So First Aid, in case you're wondering what he does. He heals usually 20 if he's bronze, but we just raised it by 20. He hastes one item for 1 second, and he has a 4-second cooldown. So Power Drill, the reason that Power Drill ends up being in almost every single dually build is because whenever you haste, slow, freeze, poison, or burn, charge this by 2 seconds. It's got a 10-second cooldown. Not that great, but you know, when Chem Snail goes off, it poisons and slows, so it charges that by 4 seconds. When First Aiden goes off, it hastes, so it charges it by 2 seconds. When the core goes off, it burns, so it charges that by 2 seconds. When Rocket Launcher goes off, it burns 3 times, so it charges this by 6 seconds. And actually, I guess we don't have that many synergies yet, but like here, Rust charges this by 2 seconds because it starts off by slowing something. Righty tighty, you could see that when Rocket Launcher goes off, it's going to charge Chem Snail. So this is going to charge Power Drill 3 times. And then Chem Snail is going to get charged, probably go off. And that's going to give another 2 charges to Power Drill. So that's 10 seconds right there. If Rocket Launcher goes off and Chem Snail goes off right after that, that's 10 seconds to Power Drill immediately. So I don't think we're going to go Defense Matrix. I just don't think it's going to work. This reroll's kind of bad. We got Metronome. I need Metronome. So what do we want to sell? Pulse Rifle's not going to happen anymore. Pulse Rifle's gone. But Pulse Rifle did its job, right? It got us through the early game, picked us up some wins. And I don't need to sell anything else, so I won't, but a lot of these things are sellable, right? Like, I could probably sell cool LEDs. Probably never going to use Wallace or missiles anymore either. So, Metronome is very good with Power Drill, right? Whenever you use an adjacent item, haste the other adjacent item for 1 second. Power Drill, whenever you haste, this gets charged by 2. So you put this in between Power Drill and something else, and then when Power Drill goes off, it hastes the other item, which charges the Power Drill by 2. When the other item goes off, it hastes Power Drill, which also charges Power Drill by 2. So you end up, and I did have one, my first dually win ever, I actually had 2 Power Drills, which is not that easy to get anymore. Because of how some of the changes they made in the 1.0 release, it's harder to get 2 of the same item. But yeah, 2 Power Drills does what you think it does. When one goes off, it hastes the other, which charges both of them. Then the other one goes off, hastes the other, and charges both of them. So you end up with like an infinite loop of Power Drills, which does a lot of damage. We really want to get Metronome in. Let's move on to the next hour, see what we get, and then we can figure out how we're going to get Metronome in here. 500 shield could really help with making sure we win this next fight. But I think we might be pretty strong. We don't really have enough money to go to either of these two, though. Like this, the rerolls, first of all, cost money. And second of all, I'm probably just going to end up at a shop, which I would need money for. This is a shop, which I would need money for. And I'd really only be looking for Power Drill, maybe an Uzi. So I think the shield is the best choice just because I don't have the money. And now you can see, like, I'm really cranking on our money. Like, yeah, we could sell some stuff, maybe make, like, 6 or 8 gold or something back. But that's why I like starting with the income, because every day we've been getting 2 extra gold. And I've really been using the gold. What do we got? A pig who's won 1 day and lost 2 days. He's also level 5, but I guess it's pretty easy to be level 5 because you can see that we're so close to 6 already. How do I want to do this? Because there could be something to be said about getting rid of Rocket Launcher. I gotta get rid of Uzi right now. This might change. Chem Snail, I don't think is gonna stay in the build long term. But right now, Chem Snail is probably better than Cool LEDs. And Chem Snail is our only slow item that I have in. So I kind of want to keep a slow item in. So I'm going to put Metronome in between First Aiden and Power Drill. So now when First Aiden goes off, it hastes a random item and it hastes Power Drill, which charges Power Drill for 4 seconds, right? And Power Drill is then hasted. So you could see that now our build is... First Aiden is very valuable here. And we might get something else to replace First Aiden, but he's going to do his job for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, rocket launcher's not going to last that long because once we move the core all the way to the right, it will also charge righty-tighty. But I don't currently have 2 items. Like, I'd put Uzi in, but I don't care as much about Cool LEDs. Cool LEDs is not that good. So this should be powerful enough to beat Pig, I would imagine.
Have you noticed I'm huge?
Also, we have the 500 shield or whatever. You guys got a freeze and then this. That's going to be annoying. Are we going to be able to beat this? He has 70 poison on us already. We have a lot of burn on him. Oh, okay, we won. High goes to the player. Yeah, he got the eccentric skill here rigged. At the start of the fight, haste 2 items for 3 seconds. You can see here I got rust, and if you also have rigged, then your power drill charges for 6 seconds at the start of the fight, which is pretty good. Because then it's only got 4 seconds left that you need to do, which is why I was really hoping to get that skill. But and here you can see power drill went off 9 times. So alright, what do we got? Don't really need any shield items. Temporary boost could be okay if we grab the damage, but I think we're probably gonna look for a weapon.
I can help you finish a fight.
Alpha Ray is not bad because every time the core goes off, it boosts the power drill then. But I don't think it's good enough. Unfortunate. I kind of wanted a power drill upgrade there. That was the only thing I was looking for. Either get some max health or some money. Okay, Wallace is never gonna have. I gotta go for the max health. I actually have a decent amount of money. I don't want to sell Miss Isles because maybe I could reroll her at Mandala to get a silver power drill instead. But I need to make some room. I think I sell both cool LEDs then. And what do I do here? I could go for silver chocolate bars. Okay. What's the silver item? It's Bellista. We're gonna want to sell all those before the fight anyways. Here we got Mod Squad. We're probably just gonna do Mod Squad. I don't really know what this guy could give. This guy could maybe give some weapon stuff, but again, really our only weapon that matters is Power Drill. Rocket launchers is just there for the burn. I did click it. Is it not going off? We might have to go to the main menu real quick. Alright, let's try that again. There we go. This, though, is kind of okay. Especially because we're probably going to keep First Aiden for a while. So that'll just give us extra damage for having First Aiden go off. And Chem Snail right now, but I don't know if Chem Snail's going to stay too long. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, it's Power Drill doing the damage and everything else is doing buffs and debuffs. We get a silver First Aiden, which is obviously... Oh, that's so unfortunate. So if you look at the two First Aids, obviously we gave this one an extra 20 healing. But I think the 2 seconds of haste is worth more than the healing. Could go here and just peek, but I think it's going to be better to go Mountain Pass. Because if we Mountain Pass and we find a fight, then we're level 7 before the end of the day. We did get a fight. Should be pretty easy. So yeah, now we're going to be able to make it to level 7 before the end of day 5. What does this guy's build even do? I guess he has the lifesteal on the leeches. I don't really ever fight this guy unless I random him, because he's one of the low level fights in each area. When you, or each day when you actually see them. We did get his skill. Which, actually, this is great. So now, when First Aiden goes off, because he's a friend, First Aiden hastes a random item, hastes the Power Drill, and poisons 1, which charges the Power Drill by 6, right? And I think, if I understand correctly, Chem Snail poisons and slows, and now it also poisons 1 when it goes off. I think those two poisons are separate. So I think it might charge Power Drill for 6 every time it goes off now as well. And then here we could throw Miss Isles into the grinder. I think we'd be better off going to Andy and looking for some small items that will work better. Okay, none of those. Okay, Uzi. Kind of want all of these. Uzi I'm going to grab just because we might end up using Uzi. It just depends on what we get in the future. Crypto I'm going to grab for the same reason as earlier. I'll just be able to sell it for more probably. And then we got Isochoric Freezer, which we could maybe make work. At the moment, it doesn't work. I prefer coolant to this thing. But if we don't get coolant, then we might have to use this. Okay, we can upgrade a silver or lower tier item. Is there anything we care about upgrading? Oh, I just realized I filled up my slots. Now we don't get the tech item. Dang it. Yeah, you gotta be careful about having too much. And there was no reason for me to be holding onto that Ballista either. That's unfortunate. But yeah, so A lot of these items don't actually care about being upgraded, except for Metronome. I could maybe see wanting to upgrade Metronome, but Metronome, since it is a dually item, there's decent chances of me actually finding another Metronome. Power Drill, I was kind of talking about I want to upgrade it, but again, I could probably just find a Power Drill. Whereas I think just getting a silver tier skill is going to be better than upgrading one of these two. And all these other ones, they honestly don't matter anymore, right? All these other ones are just here to charge Power Drill.
When you're ready, I'm here for you.
Alright, we don't have exactly one friend. We'd have to get rid of Chem Snail if we want to do that. Your poison items have +2 poison. So the unfortunate thing about this is it doesn't apply to Toxic Friendship. It would only give Chem Snail 2 poison. You have exactly one friend, reduces its cooldown and the core's cooldown by 5%. So this is not going to be useful right now, but it might be useful in the future, right? But since we have Toxic Friendship, the more friends we have, the better Toxic Friendship is. Do I reroll? Because I'm not going to use Buddy System right now, but I might use it in the future. I think I got to reroll. Pretty sure I'm going to take the item to the left, but I want to read these two because I don't really know what they do. You have 5 or fewer. Okay, I'm not going to have 5 or fewer items. So I'm taking this. Every time we poison, all my items get 1% crit chance. So First Aid poisons and Chem Snail, I'm pretty sure poisons twice. So those are the only two things that are going to charge it right now. Power Drill, we'd maybe be looking to get either a poison or a burn Power Drill. Kind of just depends on what we get available to us. But yeah, that'll be fine.
I think you had a breakthrough.
Okay, this guy's a 3-win pig, but it looks like maybe he lost day 4, which was the last day, so maybe right now he's weak. I don't really see us changing our build quite yet. I do want to get rid of Rocket Launcher and maybe get rid of Chem Snail, but we don't have anything good to replace them with quite yet. Because I could replace Rocket Launcher with Uzi, but I need a second thing. Like, I don't want to put in Isocoric Freezer quite yet either. I just said quite yet like 12 times.
My people believe in peace. Boring.
Alright, what do we got here? I have no idea what this build does. I'm just going to hope that we win. How's it going? We got a lot of burn on him. He has a lot of burn on us, but I guess we're just stronger. He's only level 6. I'm already level 7. Again, he has the rigged skill. Oh, Hotspot. That's another thing that I really want. Hotspot makes it so your leftmost item burns whenever it gets used. So obviously, just make the drill do another thing that charges the drill, right? The goal is to make the drill essentially charge itself. So whenever the drill goes off again. Okay. I think we're looking for a haste item. That's not the haste item I want. Oh, okay. Crypto's worth 10. We'll sell that. Maybe it doesn't go above the number. Maybe I did have an outstanding circumstance. So the thing about when you buy DJ Robot is you also get nanobots. So that's why I made enough room there. The nanobots are worth 0, but there could be like, we could run into Barcoon and then sell them for 1 instead. I think we're going here. You buy medium items for +2. Okay, I don't want any of that. Okay, there's coolant. We're gonna sell you. I think I'm just gonna sell missiles.
Medium is a size of dignity.
I haven't been going to any mandalas anyways. Okay, we want coolant. So the difference between coolant here and isochloric freezer, 5-second cooldown, freezes an item with a cooldown of 5 seconds or less for 1 second. And when you upgrade this, the number of seconds that it freezes for goes up. Coolant, on the other hand, 5 seconds, freeze one item for 1 second, cleanses half your burn. I don't really ever take that into account, but it is a useful thing. And when you upgrade coolant, it freezes more items. And if you are spamming power drill and we can get fiber optic, then it'll also spam coolant, which we just want coolant to be freezing everything rather than this, which is... I don't know why it has the limitation of things with a cooldown of 5 or less. I feel like this item would still be worse than coolant even if it didn't say that. But anyways, and then the other thing about coolant is I guess it's kind of keeping you safe from burn builds. What do we got here? Lone Shark I've been losing to a lot lately. But our build right now is actually quite good. So I think we could take Lone Shark. Let's hope that we can take him. Lone Shark scales really hard, so he's kind of scary. How are we doing? Okay. This guy also... Oh, he didn't have any crit? For some reason, I thought this thing had crit. Maybe I'm misremembering. First 5 times using an aquatic item. Yeah, that doesn't help us. Weapons have damage equal to our income. That's fine. Honestly, Lone Shark doesn't really have many items that I want. This is probably the best thing because it at least does something for my build. Okay, Colt. We're gonna go to Colt. I need to remember... Is there on this website... Oh. I don't think you can look up events on this website. So the only... I don't really want just a random weapon. I'd rather go to the shop and hunt for a power drill. But I think from the Colt... Oh, that's not ideal. Okay, so there's the bow, which I think we've talked about in the past the last time we were on the Colt. I forgot to reopen that. The dagger's not it. Honestly, none of these are it because the problem with upgrading the power drill with crit chance is we really just want the power drill to have a debuff instead, so it charges itself rather than it does more damage. So I think we're just going with the 25 regen. This 25 regen is actually quite a bit. Maybe I should have gone to the weapons store. It's kind of up in the air. So here we got burn skills. Freeze skills is probably not that valuable for us quite yet. I don't know all the burn skills, but I really don't care about skills that increase my burn, right? Unless we get that one that I showed, which is like your rightmost item, or your leftmost item every time you use it, you burn. That would be good. But I don't want something that like makes these do more burn. I want to do more debuffs, like when you burn X happens. So let's look in here because I don't often look at burn things. The first time you burn freeze, see that's one of them, but it only happens once, right? And then this will just buff burn and poison items. I think I just go this one. The first time I burn freeze. Because that's when the core goes off for the first time. It burns, freezes, charges the drill by 2 or by 4. because it's 2 charges. So yeah, I'll just take that. This build is all about trying to get the drill going as quickly in the fight as possible. What do we want here? Regen is obviously a lot less valuable now that we just got so much regen. Could go to JJ and just look for random stuff. Sure, let's go to JJ. We got lots of money. We could go this. I think I'll buy it just because it's kind of cheap. There's a power drill upgrade. So now power drill just does a little bit more damage. Alright, what do we got? Vanessa that lost like day 3 or day 4, and that's it. Where did this submarine come from? The submarine is a tech item. We got the submarine from the schematics. Okay, well, we're not going to be using submarine, so I'm going to sell that. I still don't think we can pivot over to like using coolant and Uzi. Because honestly, I think both Chem Snail and Rocket Launcher need to get replaced, but probably at the same time. I don't have enough items to make it happen yet. Although I could put in the second First Aiden. 2 First Aidens would actually be good. Because of the toxic friendship. Who's gonna win this one? I have no idea. I think we might win. But it's gonna be close. It's not that close.
Got talent. You should put it toward nobler use.
Because his double barrel didn't have a way to get ammo back. This thing was kind of gonna be scary. His build doesn't really make any... Why does he have Trebuchet in this build? It doesn't... It doesn't work with Torpedo. Yeah, I'm kind of confused. He has this to reload the Torpedo. These items don't attack that much, so it doesn't really charge Trebuchet very quickly. I don't know why he has Trebuchet here. He could have just had like a Katana or something instead. And that would have been way better. Plus, like, his Noisy Cricket doesn't even work because he doesn't have enough items. If he replaced the Trebuchet with 3 items, then his Noisy Cricket would at least work. Maybe he's just... I mean, he's doing fine, right? Because he's only lost once. Like, what do I know? But... Okay. So what was I just talking about? If we put in First Aiden would charge... The problem is, Chem Snail is our only slow item. If I could find a small slow item... Really want to get rid of a rocket launcher. But you can see, like, our build is fine at the moment, so maybe we'll wait till further into the day to decide if we're going to make any changes. None of that is what I want. There's a power drill upgrade, I'll take that. Just a little bit more damage. Okay, upgrade a bronze item. Really, the only thing I can upgrade is this First Aiden, because this First Aiden has 20 more healing than this guy. But is that worth it? No, I'd probably rather go to Kina and fish for something that I could use, like coolant. So the other reason that coolant is so much better with power drill than this is because this freezes 1 item. Coolant freezes 2 items, which means the power drill charges 4 seconds off of 1 coolant use, right? Thrusters is also not bad. Thrusters is interesting. I personally think that Nitro is better because it's got a lower cooldown, but what Thrusters does is it burns both players, which counts as 2 burn, right? So that charges Power Drill for 4 seconds. And it lowers adjacent items' cooldowns, which is also pretty nice because we could put it next to like First Aiden, and then First Aiden would go off like zero point 0.4 seconds earlier to start the whole cycle of Power Drill. And then when Thrusters actually goes off itself, it would charge the Power Drill by quite a bit. So I think I should pick them up. Again, I don't really like Light Bulb. Walter Cooler is funny. I've only ever used Walter Cooler like once. And like I just had like a slot in my build that I didn't need, so Walter Cooler was just sitting there like giving me max HP. Although it wasn't a friend build, so Walter Cooler wasn't getting max value. I think Walter Cooler will be better when I get the expansion for Dooley, where there's a lot more useful friends. Same with Micro Dave. Alright, what do we got? We haven't found any like super difficult fights. I'm pretty confident we can just beat Shock Trooper. I hopefully it just spawns a smaller tech item. So what do I want from him? Tracer would be nice, Nitro would be nice, and Incendiary rounds would be nice. If we could get any of those, I'd be happy. Holy, is he gonna beat me? He almost beat me. Okay, we're a little bit weaker than I thought. Last time I fought this guy, I just destroyed him. But yeah, I mean, it's just because we've been sitting on Chem Snail and Rocket Launcher for too long. These items are falling off really hard. Let's see what we get. Okay, it gave us Tracer Fire. Which is fine, because now we're just like, we're stacking crit chance a lot, right? We got it every time we poison, we get 1% crit chance, and every time we burn, we get 2% crit chance. But we're probably taking out Rocket Launcher, so we're going to lose that burn, but we're going to probably keep in the Ignition Core. What's the tech item that we got? Cool LEDs. You know, earlier I said that Cool LEDs was probably a worse slow item than Snail, but now it might be better because it's small and we need the space. I don't really want any silver tier friends. Show me a silver item. I don't want that guy at all. That was a silver tier friend, by the way. Just told you I didn't want you. I don't want any of this. That sucks when you have like an hour where you just can't use anything. So what if we rethink our life a little bit here? So first Aiden, cooldown reduction. Second first Aiden. So we got 2 first Aidens. And when they go off, they poison. And they also haste an item. First Aiden is going to do haste a random item and haste the power drill and poison. Which is going to make the core go off faster, which is going to make the cool LEDs go off faster. The item to the right for righty-tighty. This is the part that's confusing. When you decide to redo your build, you have to look at more than just what's on the board, right? You got to look at your skills and be like, what was I doing with my skills before that I now have to make sure is still working? So like righty-tighty was going off because of rocket launcher. Now it's going to be on ignition core. And we need to make sure that it actually has a target, which is cool LEDs. And then coolant is just kind of here at the moment. Coolant is not doing a whole lot. I could do this, have cool LEDs. It's probably not worth it. It's probably better to just have 2 really low cooldown first Aidens. And And yeah, I think these two are probably gonna be for sale now. What do I want? If I sell those two, I guess I could buy chocolate bars. Health and shield items, the only thing I would want is like more copies of First Aid, which isn't even that valuable anymore. A silver First Aid is probably all you need. Bronze First Aid is just like slightly worse than silver First Aid. But I mean, the having one more second of haste is good. A shield, like I really don't want any shield items, so I was really think just chocolate bars. We'll sell these two. I need to get rid of these nanobots. I might just sell them for free because they're not doing anything for me. We'll get silver chocolate bars. I maybe could have gone for the gold tier chocolate bars. Okay, Mountain Pass. Ah, that's unfortunate. We could go to Barcoon and actually sell all these chocolate bars for 1 gold. But I think Mountain Pass is too good to give up. And we're doing the classic escort the convoy, hoping for a battle. And it is a battle. Pretty easy battle. Should be straightforward. I am just going to sell the chocolate bars so we have the power, but we're probably not going to need it. I don't actually really know what Viper Tyrant gives. I've only fought him like once. When you poison, get 4 regen. That's actually... That would be pretty good if we could get that skill. As far as other stuff goes... Toxic Fang would be nice because it poisons. Venom could be good. Although it's kind of hard to use with how I have Metronome set up at the moment. Can I flip it? There's no reason that you have to be on the left side, right? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't have the burn thing. So Power Drill doesn't actually have to be all the way to the left yet. Okay, I mean, all that does is give us 2 more regen. We got a Vanessa that's doing okay. So, I mean, there's potential for us to lose this one, but I'm feeling pretty good about our build at the moment.
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
What do we got here? Okay, Flaming Cutlass. That's a scary build. Unfortunately, it froze Power Drill for forever here. Let's watch our crit chance go up. Yeah, you can see 29%.
Bring her about.
Okay. I mean, it's okay, right? Our build is decently strong. We're just not going infinite yet with the Power Drill. What we really need is the Power Drill to be enchanted. And our chances when we hit level 10 to get that Power Drill enchanted. We could theoretically find it randomly, but... Got a bronze tier upgrade. Yeah, I heard that they made B1 and B2 appear later on in runs now. Which could be good, it can be bad. In a situation like this, the only item we could even upgrade is our second First Aiden, which I just don't think is worth enough to us. I mean, maybe it is, because, like, what am I looking for from Isla? Literally just Diamond Power Drill. If I don't get literally Diamond Power Drill, then I probably don't want it. The only reason I don't want to upgrade this First Aiden is because I'm not sure that I'm going to have 2 First Aidens in the build for the rest of the run. I could easily find something else, but cool LEDs is on the chopping block. The problem is cool LEDs is our only slow item. So unless I literally find a better slow item, we're probably not getting rid of cool LEDs. But what I really need is I need fiber optic. If I could find fiber optic, move coolant to the right, then I think we win the run. I need Power Drill to be enchanted with a debuff or haste. And I need Fiber Optic. And none of these things can help me get there, right? I think I upgrade the first aid.
I say thoroughly tested.
Worst case scenario, we only use this first aid instead of that first aid, right? Just because he's slightly better. And Dala. There's really no benefit. What am I looking for? Nitro, maybe? I could get Nitro by transforming these useless nanobots that are worth nothing anyways. Middle. I don't think I want any more medium items unless I'm finding a power drill. I don't think you can find the core to buy an upgrade of a core. I don't think it works like that. There's literally just pick an item, look for a power drill, or transform and hope we get... I'm going to transform, hope we get, like, Nitro. I could transform this thing, actually. Because it's gold and I'm probably not going to use it. And that way, if I get, like, a metronome, it's actually an upgrade. Ah, that's terrible. Another funny named item, though, charcoal. So we'll probably just keep using him to transform and look for better stuff like fiber optic. Can we beat Dragon? I actually have no idea if we can beat Dragon. Our build is not that strong. But it's pretty decent. So hold on. Trying to think, because if I move thrusters over to the power drill is like 1 second less, because the power drill has such a massive cooldown, that the 9% is very valuable. Having both of the first Aidens go off right away is nice. But if I do this instead, where only one of the first Aidens goes off, I should definitely switch which first Aiden it is, though. Although, I'm trying to think, because the first Aiden that's on the other side of the power drill is probably going to go off more often, because it's going to be permanently hasted once the power drill gets going. So this way, we still get the first Aiden going off at 3.6 seconds. Now the power drill requires 1 less second, though. I think I am going to fight Dragon, because even if I lose to Dragon, I still get to level 10. That would be interesting. Both of the skills from Dragon are good. I don't know if the other stuff is of any use to me, though. How we doing? The Dragon so far isn't really doing anything. He just keeps getting frozen. Like, what happened there? It was literally just power drill just destroyed. Yeah, this first Aiden goes off more because he's permanently hasted. Yeah, power drill just does a lot of damage. And we got, like, minute amounts of poison and burn going. But if we could get this, it would dramatically increase how much burn we're getting. I don't really want to hit the thrusters too badly, but if we could hit the core, and this is every time when you use a medium item. Power drill's going off 22 times, right? That's 22 chances to hit the core. And I guess core could also do it. Core's going off 12 times, so that's 34 times this could go off. Give me that one. Ah, we didn't get it. It says burn equal to 75% of the burn of your non-fire claw items. It's cool that, like, it's just a worse core, right? For us, it just doesn't work. Enchanted item with slow effects. Okay, this is not exactly what I was thinking of, but it might be good enough. So there's two interesting things that you could do here. Because Power Drill, whenever it goes off, you want it to also be charging itself, right? Well, you could either give the debuff to Power Drill, and it'll every time Power Drill goes off, it will charge itself. You can also give the debuff to Metronome, because if Metronome goes off, every time Power Drill goes off, it does the same thing. So I kind of want to look up what slow does on Metronome. Heavy. Yeah, when you use an adjacent item, slow one item for 1 second. Now, what does Power Drill do with slow? Slow an item for 2 seconds, though. That's tough. I think I put it on the Metronome. Because I could random the Power Drill, but I don't think that's a good strategy when I have something that I know charges the Power Drill right here. I think I just give it to Metronome. Because that's also going to make this first Aiden charge the Power Drill even more. Because now the first Aiden hastes, poisons, hastes again, and slows. That's 8 seconds. So whenever this first Aiden goes off, it charges the Power Drill by 8 seconds. And this first Aiden is going to be permanently hasted, so it's going off every 2 seconds. So yeah, I think it has to be the Metronome. Even though it's less slow, I'd rather have, like, poison or burn on the Power Drill. Because now, I said that with whenever the first Aiden goes off, it charges the Power Drill 8 seconds. But now Power Drill also gets 4 seconds from just the Metronome whenever it goes off. What do we have in here? Oh, we got Capacitor and Fire Claw. Sells tools. Fiber Optic is not a tool, right? I don't think it is. Fiber Optic is a small tech. So, it's either get the shield. We just did this fight, so the next fight is a player fight. Get the shield, or get the chocolate bars. I guess tools could be a Power Drill, but gold Power Drill is probably enough to win. Yeah, give me the shield. Get a tool, temporary boost. Do I have any medium items to sell? Yeah, I got the Fire Claw. So I could go temporary boost, get some more damage, but I think just fishing for like Fiber Optic or something better here is the play. Okay, there's a diamond crypto, which I will buy. Sell that for 2 extra gold. We'll just keep this. Sure, give me that crypto. So we're looking to sell this for, if we apply my logic, 28 or more. But as long as we can sell it for more than 16, then it's fine. Yeah, I think that's it. We don't get to level 11, but our build's pretty good right now. Okay, this guy has only lost 1 fight, and it was like day 4 or 5. I think it may be day 3, actually. It's kind of hard to tell on this bar. Because sometimes it's not actually, like... When you're missing... When you are on last stand and you have 1 prestige left, it goes, like, out to here. Which is, like... That's more than 1/20th of the bar. But when other people are on last stand, their bar is completely empty and you can't see it at all, so... There's no way to make my build better from here, right? I think we just run it. Hope this works. We need to get fiber optic.
We're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobody.
Also, some upgrades to thrusters would be good. Dive weights is scary. Uh-oh. He froze my first Aiden before it went off. Oh, jeez. We're gonna die. Maybe.
Like my
Oh,
crusade
jeez. That was close.
Another round.
This thing, did it crit me? How did he do that? I don't think it actually crit me. I think it just had that much damage. How did it have... I really need incendiary rounds, too. That would be great, but I don't think we're gonna get that. Oh, bonk. Enemy cooldowns. That's why that worked for him, was bonk. Bonk is crazy. I've never gotten bonk before. It's on, like, thug, like silver tier thug monster. That's a crazy skill. Oh, that's where it was getting all the damage, because he was hasting with dive weights. Why does this have... What? Oh, it went off 12. I was so confused. I was like, how did it have multicast 12? It didn't. It had multicast 5. This guy also has haste, huh? And slow. Okay. And this has haste. Okay, yeah. I see what was happening there. We got lucky there to win, I think. I don't think we should have won that one, but I'll take it. Okay, slow skills. Ooh, I just realized that if we had made the power drill slow, righty-tighty would have worked on it. But righty-tighty is not that good, right? Because we only have silver righty-tighty. Because it would have made it into a slow item. And then we wouldn't have needed cool LEDs anymore. Slow, so every time the drill goes off, we do slow because of metronome. Or I could fish for some of Dooley's best skills, but I don't think any of those really help us. I think slow skills are where it's at. First 5 times you slow, charge 1 poison. I don't have any charge poison items anymore. First time you slow, freeze. You have exactly 1 weapon. Its cooldown is reduced while your enemy has a slowed item. So that's good. But is it better than this? So essentially, once power drill, or once first Aiden goes off, but also once power drill goes off, this is active at all times, pretty much. And that would make it so this is now like an 8.6% or 8.6 second cooldown-ish. Which the lower cooldown you could get the power drill, obviously the easier it is for it to go infinite. I just wish that was a higher percent. Like, if that was 10%, I would have picked it up already. Otherwise, the first time you slow... Oh, we slow immediately. And... So that would make Rust now freeze an item and slow an item, which would charge the power drill by 4 at the start of the fight. Yeah, I think that's probably it.
A journey of eons to reach me.
Okay. This is pretty close. The problem is now we have like 40 different numbers this can be, right? It's no longer like, oh, it can be 1 through 5. It can now be 0 through 40. So who knows how many days before I get a value of 28 or higher. So I'm just going to sell it now. The random item we got was memory card. Those are probably both for sale. I think I'm just going Andy to fish for fiber optic or coolant or... I don't want that. This doesn't help us, right? The core gains 50... No, I don't need that. It'll very often have a 50% reduced cooldown, but I don't think that's good enough. Nothing. That's disappointing. Sharpening stone, we could get permanent damage, 10 more damage on the power drill. This would only be 25 damage. And Tinker, I honestly don't know what I'd be looking for besides First Aiden. So, yeah, I guess give me 10 more damage on... Oh, it was a gold one. Sure, I'll take 15 damage. I thought I was getting 10. So it's essentially a choice between 25 temporary damage for the day or 15 permanent damage. And I don't really know what these guys give. I sometimes fight this guy, but I feel like he never gives me anything good. I think we just fight for XP here. So we could do this, we get to level 12 before the end of the day. What do you give? When you heal, charge a shield. That doesn't do anything for me. Okay, how's the drill doing? Drill's doing pretty good. How much crit do we have? 30% crit chance? Drill went off 16 times. That guy just doesn't really put up much of a fight, huh? Okay, well that's useless. Skill upgrades. I am interested in skill upgrades. The only medium item I'm looking for is a power drill. I don't think that's reliable enough. Okay, what does this do? 3 seconds or 10 more damage for my power drill. When does this proc? When something burns. We burn decently early, right? At about 4 seconds, we're gonna be burning with the core. So at 4 seconds is when this is gonna go off. Is that better than 10 more damage? Probably, yeah. 1 extra second. That could be a lot. Alrighty, we got a lot of regen. JJ would just be gambling, so I think we just always go Mysterious Portal. We go to Bazaar Con. I feel like the diamond item is too gamble. But, like, I'm gonna level up to 12 anyways. I don't need networking. And if the diamond item is fiber optics, then I feel like we just win. But I do have to rearrange my entire board if it's fiber optic. But if I go network, because we're getting close to a perfect victory, right? Which I've never done before. If I do, there could potentially only be 1 day left after this. So pumping the XP as much as possible. Let's do XP. I think it's safer. The diamond item could be completely useless. Give me a gold tier item. It could be fiber optic. It was copper red. What I get here? I don't want that. Don't want that. Let's get rid of all this garbage. It's copper ed, but good thing about... I guess I could do it with charcoal too, is we could try and reroll for fiber optic on Mandala. How's this guy doing? You know, he's lost 3 fights. He's not doing that bad, though. He lost his fights earlier on. But, I mean, there's nothing I can do to make my board any better, so... we just hope that it's good enough. Ooh, it's one item toxic submersible. Holy. That's scary. Can we just keep that thing frozen for the end of eternity, please? As long as coolant keeps freezing it. The problem is he has lifesteal, right? Okay. Coolant froze that thing so much. So the bad thing about this build, which happened to us when we played Vanessa too, is coolant hits 2 items, right? Oh, connection issue. It better count that win still. What do you mean? Hold up. What? Why does it say 4 wins? We were on 9 wins. You better not. Do I exit out of the game here? Please don't tell me you brought us back to 4 wins. Please, 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 please. Okay, we did win. Alright, I can't talk about it as well because their board is now gone. So coolant freezes 2 items, right? And one of their items was Crow's Nest, which just has the passive of if you only have, like, it gives all of your weapons 40% crit or something, maybe more. Maybe that one was 60 because it was gold. But and then it also makes it so if you only have one weapon, it has lifesteal. But it doesn't have a cooldown of its own. So coolant can't hit Crow's Nest, and that's a large item. So that's 3 slots gone. Then the only other thing he has is like submersible. He has a silencer, which also can't be hit by coolant. And he has a silencer, dive weights, and he had the catfish. So coolant can only hit like 3 or 4 items. I can't remember what his other item was. So the odds that coolant actually hits the submersible, which is what we need to hit, is actually pretty high. And since he enchanted it with toxic instead of I can't remember what the thing is called where it doesn't get frozen slowed or anything. Like, he needs that one because his entire build relies on the submersible going off, but it couldn't, like, it just kept getting frozen. Anyways, what am I doing here? This is not a great first place to go. Could just, like, spam max HP, but it's only 150 max HP I get. Maybe just hunt for the power drill, huh? Uzi doesn't matter at this point. There's no way we're going to put in Uzi even if I do get the fiber optic. There's a diamond missiles. But yeah, no, I really just wanted power drill from that. Don't need a burn item. Could transform and hunt for fiber optic, but Andy also has a chance to have fiber optic. So this is 6 times as many chances to have fiber optic. Cog is kind of the same as First Aiden, except it does an adjacent item. So you can kind of control what it's hitting a little bit better. But I don't think there's any way that Cog is making it into the build. Because we need to keep a slow item. And First Aiden is just better, I think. It's kind of close, but I don't want to hit any of these items. Like, I don't want to hit thrusters or cool LEDs with Cog. And this First Aiden can't hit any, like, Cog. If Cog was there, it couldn't hit anything, so doesn't work. There's thrusters, so now we get... It doesn't actually show how much the cooldown percent changes, huh? But that's really what I want it for, is the cooldown change. Because now we got 12%, so now you can see power drills below 9 seconds. Alright, Lord of the Wastes should be easy. I feel like every time I see Lord of the Wastes, it's pretty much a guaranteed win.
The dunes are waves or a sea of gold.
What can he give? Oh yeah, whenever anyone uses an item, 2% crit chance. I would probably take that. Because, like, I'm really probably helping myself more than anyone else. A one-weapon build is probably already has 100% crit chance anyways. This guy actually did 0 damage to me. Got a bar of gold, which sells for 40. That's fine. Okay, upgrade an item. Or get a skill. I don't want to upgrade coolant now, so coolant hits 3 things. It would be better if I had fiber optic, but coolant's still gonna be good. Yeah, I think the fact that I haven't been able to find coolant. Heck, I just need the diamond coolant. What do we got? Loot item. Sells friends. Nothing here is great, so I'm just going to go with the loot item. Ooh, it's either insect wing or... feather, a diamond feather. I thought it was a silver feather. Yeah, definitely going with that. But let me see. Oh, we got another cool LEDs. That's the... We've gotten 4 different silver cool LEDs on this run. And yet we still only have a silver cool LEDs. That's crazy. Yeah, we're definitely going with this, because this is 8% to everything, which is going to break our build. What do we got here? Not much, so we just hunt for power drill.
I'm pretty laid back.
Nothing.
See that mountain?
Alright, well,
It's Poe. He might have what you need.
we got a chance to have the perfect victory. It would be my first ever perfect victory. Sell this feather. Drills at 8.2 cooldown. This first Aiden 3.7. This one's at 3.3. This is a decent chance to win. It's unfortunate the power drill doesn't have an enchantment, but that's how it goes. I'll just sell the bar of gold. Make some extra money. This could be the last day right here. How's this person doing? They are not doing great. They're on last stand with only 5 wins. It's looking good, but let's not get too... I'm too excited. I'm sorry. I think we win here. I think this might be the first perfect victory for me.
You, but if you insist.
Okay, he's doing 1 weapon flagship. Okay, he does a lot of damage when that flagship goes off. Can we just freeze that flagship for the end of eternity, please?
Defeat does
There it is! We did it! We got 10 wins, 20 prestige left. Perfect victory! That's the first time I have gotten a perfect victory. And yeah, so we did a very normal dually build. Power drill, metronome. I love my first Aidens, so it's great that we got 2 first Aidens. Coolant, also very important in the build, but we didn't get the fiber optic to make coolant just constantly going off, which just makes the build even crazier. And we kept the ignition core in just because it was going off a lot. It was our second most used item, right? And it was constantly charging the power drill, so it was useful for us. And thrusters just to lower the cooldown of stuff. Cool LEDs was just here because we had righty tighty. That's pretty much all there is to it, and it also charged the power drill. But yeah, that's a perfect victory. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this thing, just so I can have a picture of my first perfect victory. You can see I have a folder of some of my wins, just in case I wanted to show them. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that this game makes you do display capture, so all that stuff like pops up on the screen. But anyways, yeah, perfect victory. If only this had been in ranked. But, I mean, ranked is obviously harder than normal. You're going to run into a lot more challenges. Ah, that's interesting. I was kind of curious. Yeah, the shielding that I bought, because I bought a shield of 500 and then I bought a shield of 1,000 later. And that didn't count. I have to gain the shield, I assume, from my items then. Okay. We only completed 9 days? I mean, I guess we just straight up won, but does it not count? The 10th day doesn't count? Because we won, or what's up with that? I also don't know why it does this. Like, that XP that you get when you hit exit is real. Or is not real. That's fake XP. It just, like, gives you XP equal to the amount of XP you got earlier, but it's not actually real. It didn't happen. Oh, it did happen. Maybe it used to be bugged, where it used to be giving you extra XP. But I guess now it's the match bonus XP, because you get XP for challenges, but you also get XP for completing matches. And I guess that was... Okay, I lied to you then. Anyways, you can see that we're close to 14, and then all we have to do is finish up 15 to unlock the Dualtron expansion. But yeah, first perfect victory, starting off the day strong. Now we're going to go into ranked and get defeated immediately. But that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. The next one will be us doing our daily ranked to see if we can get some more chests as I work towards unlocking more of the characters. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this one, and I will see you next time.